Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. Hopefully you are doing well. Let's start our today's social studies lesson. Students, today we are going to start a new lesson, lesson 8. The name of the lesson is People and Work. Here the subheading is Population. So let's start. There are over 207 million people in our country. Who are these people and what do they do, where do they live, and how do they earn their living? How do we know the number of people in a city and the whole country? Let us find out about the people of Pakistan and what they do. So here in this paragraph we came to know about the population of Pakistan. So in Pakistan about 207 million people live. And here some of the questions are given whose answer we will find in the reading of this lesson. We can find out about the people living in a country by conducting a census. Usually a census is carried out every 10 years. So what is a census? Census is the counting of the people, and a census is conducted after every 10 years. During a census, information about people is collected. We get to know how many people live in a place, their ages, occupations, religion, and other details about the population. Such information is called data or statistics. We can find out how large families are, what languages people can speak, and whether people can read and write. So in a census, we not only count the people, but we also collect information about the people. Such information is called the data or statistics. So what kind of information we get through the census? For example, we came to know about the ages of the people, occupations, religion, languages, education, and so on. All this information helps the government to decide many things. For example, a census may tell us that there are millions of babies in the country. With this information, the government knows that more schools will be needed in a few years' time. So the information get through the census is very important. It helps the government to make plans for the future of the country. For example, if a census tell us that there are 1 million babies in a country, then with this information the government will open new schools for the next 5 or 10 years. This chart shows the estimated figures age-wise of the population in Pakistan. Source UN data. Here below a chart is given and this column is about population. Population consisted of children, adults and senior citizens. So the age group for children is from 0 to 14 years, and this is showing that the population of Pakistan consisted of 36.7% children, while the age group for the adults is from 15 to 64 years, and the population of Pakistan consisted of about 59.1% of adult population. Senior citizens age group is 64 years and over. So it means in Pakistan 4.2% population consisted of senior citizens. We can learn a lot from this chart. Think about these questions. How many schools will be needed in 5 years? How many people in the country work to earn money? Do you think most families are large or small? Are there many old people in the country? What does this tell you? So, through the census, the government can know the answer of these questions and can make plans for the future of the country. When a country is populated with very large numbers and does not have the resources to support a satisfactory quality of life, we say it is overpopulated. So what is overpopulated country? A country which has large number of population and does not have enough resources. So that country is called overpopulated country. Overpopulation leads to major problems such as a lack of jobs and unemployment, pollution and problems with overcrowding, traffic jams and lack of resources. Pakistan is overpopulated. This affects us all. So, there are many disadvantages of overpopulation. Overpopulation causes many problems like unemployment, pollution, traffic jams, lack of resources, and so on. Unfortunately, Pakistan is also an overpopulated country, and this affects us all. A census also tells us how many people live in the cities, urban population, and how many live in the countryside, rural population. This pie chart shows us these figures. Here you can see this is the pie chart, and this pie chart is showing that about 36% population of Pakistan live in the cities, while 64% population of Pakistan live in the villages. The next heading is work. Most of the people in Pakistan live in villages and small towns in the countryside. They earn a living by working on the land. Since we know where the best agricultural land is, we also know where most of the people live. In the province of Sindh, the urban population is 52% and the rural population is 48%. What might be the reason for this? So here in this paragraph, it is explained that most of the population of Pakistan live in the villages or in the small towns, and they are associated with agriculture. Most of the population of Pakistan live in the province of Punjab because Punjab has the best agricultural land, while in the province of Sindh, the urban population is about 52% and the people who live in the villages are 48%. So what is the reason for that? The reason is that there are many big cities in the province of Sindh like Karachi, Hyderabad, Sakkar and so on. These big cities are industrialized and are the economic hub of Pakistan. In the large towns and cities, there are factories and offices. There are many jobs or professions for people to choose from. People living here work as doctors, traders, engineers, police officers, teachers, drivers, bankers, mechanics, and in hundreds of other professions. Many people have their own businesses and employ thousands of workers. Many people work for voluntary organizations to help their fellow beings. There are also thousands of people who have no jobs. Why do you think this happened? So, in the big cities of Pakistan, there are many factories, industries and offices, and there are also many jobs. So, the people here work as doctors, traders, engineers and so on. While some people work as businessmen and some people work for voluntary organization, but still there are thousands of people who do not have job. It is because they are not well educated and do not have the skills. There are many people who are either not adequately educated or trained in special skills. They have a problem finding jobs except as part-time workers, domestic servants or laborer. So there are many people who are not well educated and also they do not have the skills. So they face problem in finding the jobs and they work as part-time workers, domestic servants or as laborers. Some people earn a lot of money for the work they do. Others do not earn so much. However, every job that is done has a value. You may think that some jobs are dirty or badly paid, but someone has to do them. It is important for us to learn to show respect to all people no matter what work they do, as everyone and every job has dignity. So, there are some people who earn a lot of money and some people do not earn much money. So, for that reason, we cannot consider a job dirty or badly paid. But we should learn to show respect to all the people and every job or profession because every job has dignity or respect. Next heading is services. The government has many departments to help the people. These are called services. Schools and colleges, hospitals and clinics, banks and many other institutions are run by the government to serve the public. The government also runs transport services and constructs roads, canals, bridges and buildings. So, there are many departments that are run by the government to help the people. These are called the services. There are many institutions that are run by the government to provide services to the people, like the schools, colleges, hospitals, clinics, banks, and so on. The government also provides transport services and construct many roads, canals, bridges, and buildings for the welfare of their people. The government also has special departments to help particular groups of people. For example, there is a special program to give advice, loans, and good seeds to farmers. Other programs help the old, the poor, and the sick. The government has a special department to help people learn how to read and write. So there are some special departments run by the government to help particular group of people. For example, there are some programs introduced by the government to give advice, loan and good seeds to the farmers. While there are some programs that are for the help of the old, poor and the sick people. The government also open special departments for the education of the poor people.